What's going on, guys? So today's video I put a poll up on Instagram talking about things that you guys want to see in this series and really just what kind of YouTube content that you guys want to see. And a lot of the feedback was talking about nutrition advice. I'm not a nutritionist, but the best way that I can think of is to just show you guys what I do. And I know exactly why you guys are asking this kind of stuff, because I have not been the perfect nutrition guru, things like that, especially when I was in the military. I was eating majority just like a lot of active duty, and especially in combat arms, like you're eating out of a bag pretty much your entire career. You're eating MREs, processed foods. You're going to the gas station, the PX, and grabbing what you can, because we don't fucking prioritize actually meal prepping and packing meals and stuff like that. Yeah, you may do it once or twice, just like I did, but when we really take a look at it and really reflect on ourselves and take a look in the mirror, we are not prioritizing our food and nutrition the way that we would like to, right? So if you're in the military, I understand when you go to the field for a month that you don't get to control what you eat. But what we do get to control is when we're back at home and we're not in the field. And for civilians, on a daily basis, you're in control of whether or not you take the time and dedicate yourself to meal prepping, going to the grocery store and getting what you know that you need to get, versus taking the easy route and taking the, more convenient route and getting the fast food on the way. Oh fuck, I forgot to, meal prep yesterday. It's all good. I'm just gonna, get my food from Chick-fil-A or whatever it is, and then just go on with your day. So I'm gonna show you guys what my typical, day of eating is like. And I'm not saying, like I said, typical, not every single day that this is the way I'm eating. I sometimes have to, grab shit on the go too, because I forgot. I'm a normal fucking human being. A lot of these YouTubers and influencers and shit like that make you want to, think that they live a perfect fucking life, healthy all the time, and their whole body is just natural. I'm not here to do that, okay? I've been in your shoes before where I did not prioritize nutrition, and the biggest thing that I really want you guys to understand is that nutrition is the biggest piece when it comes to the recovery process and making progress in your training. You can sit here and stretch all day long, foam roll all day long, but if your nutrition is just garbage, then you're not going to make the progress, and you're not going to feel the way that you should be able to feel with the work that you're putting in, right? So this morning, I'm starting off with oats, blueberries, honey, some salt, and almond butter. I'm going to eat this. I have a circuit this morning, so I'm going to eat this prior to going into the gym. I'm sitting out in the parking lot right now. I'm going to eat this prior to going into the gym. I want to give my body plenty of time. I'm going to start my circuit in probably 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm going to eat this right now. I'm going to take, my Bangalore pre-workout, and then I'm going to go stretch, probably go to the bathroom, stretch, foam roll, get my body warmed up, do maybe one round of just a quick warm up to get the blood flowing and get things going. And then I'm going to hit it hard for the next hour and a half. And I'm going to leave everything out there. And that's not saying that my heart rate is going to be at 170, 180. No, I'm going to stay focused on what I need to do in this workout, whether that's a high heart rate, a zone 2 heart rate, doesn't matter. I'm going to stay focused. But step one is making sure that I'm prepped and ready to go and fueled for this workout. So like I said, I'm going to have this breakfast. I'm going to have my Bangalore pre-workout. And then no matter what, you guys see me harp on this if you follow me on Instagram, stay ready endurance. Sorry, it's backwards. Stay ready endurance. This stuff is absolute gold, okay? If you don't want to have a breakfast before, Hey, this is another option for you. If you don't want to have a breakfast before solid food, do not go in there and train fasted. I used to do that shit when I was in the military, and I'd always wonder why. Like why do I feel like shit? Why do I feel like I have just no energy after getting my workout in? Yeah, I took this high stim pre-workout and I was all hyped up for the workout, and it was a strength workout, by the way. I could never take any of the pre-workouts that were on the market to go do endurance training like you can with Bangalore pre-workout. My heart would feel like it was racing. I would have a terrible fucking headache, and it just, my all-around philosophy and understanding of this was off. And I have this pre-workout that I formulated that you can do strength and endurance training on it. And then the Stay Ready Endurance, I use that. If I'm going to go, I'm just going to talk about today. I'm having this breakfast, so I'm already giving myself some carbs, which is an energy source. I'm filling up all my glycogen levels right now with these carbs, and I'm going to be able to go use that. When I run out 30, 45, maybe an hour into it, that's when I use that Stay Ready Endurance. All right, I put it in a shaker cup, 500 to 1,000 milliliters of water. I throw 1 to 2 scoops in there. I shake it up and I start sipping on it during my rest periods, or if I have a bottle that I can squeeze and drink it while I'm on the treadmill or whatever in between the sets. I will be drinking that to keep my body fueled, to keep the glycogen levels high, to keep the carb source replenished in there, so that way I can use it so I don't start using fat or muscle. Fat is going to be used when your glycogen levels are gone, but that fat is only going to be able to be utilized for a very, very short amount of time until it transitions over into, now it's eating your muscles. And if we wonder why, that, people that can't run and hold on to muscle, it's because their body is using their fat and their muscles as an energy source, and it just eats away at it. So the Stay Ready Endurance is an awesome, easy on the stomach, very, very fast acting. And there's also a fast acting portion with cluster dextrin, and then a sustain portion with ModCarb. So you're going to get what you need quick, and then it's going to sustain you throughout the workout. And then afterwards, you're not going to feel like dog shit because you're still going to have energy left. So that's what I'm about to get ready to go do. I'm going to do a circuit. It's going to be 5 rounds, 5 minutes on the assault runner, 5 minutes on the rower, 5 minutes on the assault bike, and 5 minutes on the ski erg. So that's 20-minute rounds with about 4 to 5 minute in between rest periods. So let's see, math, 5 times 20. So that's going to be an hour and 40 minutes of working. All right, this is going to be a big one. So not every single day I'm doing these workouts. Yesterday I did 30 minutes on the ski, just arms, and then I did 1,000-meter swim, and then I did an hour-long bike ride. It was like little over 15 miles of being on the bike, and I can pump out. You guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you guys see me. The other day I was on the bike for 2 hours on a stationary bike, knocked out 43 miles at a heart rate of around like 140, 142. Now, getting out there on the road and getting out there on the bike is a totally different ball game. Okay, you're having to deal with actually controlling a bike, and then it's pretty new for me. So I'm actually having to familiarize myself with how to stabilize and control the bike, shift gears, get my fuel source while I'm riding, all that kind of stuff. So, but today we're gonna go get this workout, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit.
number 5, last round. We got about a minute left of rest time. And I've already gone through 2 scoops of Stay Ready Endurance. Now, to make this last little push, I'm doing 1 scoop in here just to get 20 grams of carbs real quick. I've been sweating a lot. I'm starting to not sweat, so that's how you know you're dehydrated. So I need to chug this real quick and then 50 seconds till we start the next round. All right, just finished up that training. Again, this was a pretty good workout. It was very long. It was an hour 40 minutes of work and about 15 minutes total rest. So it was about 20 minutes for a working round and then 3 minutes of rest. 5 rounds, 5 minutes on the assault bike or echo bike, 5 minutes on the assault runner or treadmill, 5 minutes on the ski erg, and then 5 minutes on the rower with a 3-minute rest. What I used during that was 3 scoops of Stay Ready Endurance. I used 2, and that got me through the first 4 rounds. And then that last round started to feel a little bit of energy out. You know, you can use a gel, you can use a bar. I just choose to use the Stay Ready Endurance because it does not do anything to my stomach except make it continue to go. There's no cramping, there's no any distress or anything in my stomach when I'm drinking this. So through that last scoop in my shaker cup, shook it up, drank as much as I wanted to, and then finished out that 5th round. And now we are back at the truck, getting ready to go back. I got a bunch of meetings and stuff this afternoon. Pretty much all this stuff is getting ready for the warehouse, the new warehouse move in. That changed from May 1st because the HVAC was not going to be complete in there. So now it is going to be a tentative move-in date of June 1st. So super stoked about that. But let me show you guys what I'm going to do post-workout. It's nothing crazy until I get to the house. Then I'll eat another meal. But we're going to do, I still have some of these to-go packs left of chocolate milk, whey protein, so gonna get a quick 25.5 grams of protein in really quick. So again, it doesn't have to be difficult, man. You just need to make sure that you pack accordingly. And like, it would not be good for my body to go the next hour or so without eating or refueling it or anything. I just broke down muscle fibers. I just used a bunch of my energy. So now I have to make sure that I'm refueling it, or else I cannot expect my body to continue to go, and neither should you guys. So let's head on home and get some real food. All right, life just got in the way. I just ate my post-workout meal. I had a buddy call me who is the general manager at the GM at South Dakota State University. You know, this is the dude that
introduced me to the gym and what it's like to put in the work when everybody else is sleeping at 3:30 in the morning. And now he is the GM of South Dakota State University's football team. So we were talking and discussing some big ideas that I'm not gonna share quite yet until they're official and things like that. But man, it is so, I don't have very many friends that, you know, have done shit with themselves, but this dude has worked his ass off. He has been, ever since I met him, he's been one of the hardest workers, and it's really cool to see your friends fucking be successful, you know what I mean, and not take that average ass life and do something with themselves. So, but anyways, back to the nutrition stuff. This was a meal from HelloFresh. So, you know, we take advantage of the discount codes and things like that, just like every other broke ass normal person in the world. So we got, I think, like 50% off on these HelloFresh meals, and it's something better than just chicken and rice and chicken and beef and, you know, just the plain old shit. And so, but it's fresh, you know, it's fresh food. It's all, you know, there's nothing processed about it. It's chicken bread. I mean, just go check them out. It's really fucking good shit. And this one was pasta, chicken. What else was in there?
Tomatoes. Really good, like, creamy sauce.
Yeah, it was really good. It was like chicken Alfredo kind of stuff. It was super good. So, but it is my son's birthday tomorrow, so I had to eat this meal quick. I got that the post-workout shake, the chocolate milk whey protein, got that in, and so now I need to head back out the door so that I can go get this dude some birthday presents. So yeah, and then we got football practice tonight, so I'm gonna go to the store real quick, and then I'll be back. You know, when I really take a look at it and I really just break it down just simply in my head, the hardest part of getting into eating clean is the first couple weeks, man, because your body and your mind is so used to eating whatever the fuck you want, you know, meaning like the sugary shit, the shit that tastes good, like things like that. That's the hardest part, is just getting out of that mindset. But at the end of the day, are you gonna let that shit, you know, run your life and control you? Like, bro, can you imagine like how good it's gonna feel when you can say no, and like that sugary thing, that late night snack that is derailing you, or the fast food and shit like that. Like, can you imagine if you would get all your shit, you know, right, like you meal prep, things like that, and then you start getting into shape and you start having a nice body, you're gonna start looking at other people like, dude, I wish they could just understand that, like, all it really is just a decision in your mind of, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stay dedicated no matter how bad I want to have fast food every day, no matter how bad that I want to have snacks in my house. Because that's another thing, bro, is that if you have snacks in your house, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna eat them. But imagine if you did. You know, I got kids. I got 2 kids at this house. One kid in Nebraska. I wish I could have them all together. That's a whole nother story. I'm not even gonna get into that because that shit pisses me off. But anyways, you know, my kids like to have snacks, bro. Like, my kids like to have, you know, candies and, you know, shit that kids should be able to have, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna make that kids like, oh no, you guys, you need to eat 100% healthy. No, that's not, dude, I fucking got fed McDonald's and Burger King. My mom worked at Burger King when I was a kid. Like, dude, I had snacks, I had cereal with my dad fucking every night. He would be making me milkshakes and shit like that. I turned out just fine. So, like, I'm not gonna do that to my kids, but I do know this, though, is that I cannot go into their little snack, you know, drawers and, you know, where they have all their good stuff. I cannot go in there every night and do that. But I'm telling you, like, once or twice a week,
bro, fuck yeah, I'm in there. You know what I mean? But I've also, like, if you break down the last 10 or 15 years of my life, 90% of it, actually probably like 80%, I ain't gonna lie. Probably like 80% of it has been healthy. Like, I choose more times than not to eat healthy. And that doesn't mean just chicken and rice and boring food. Just like real food, like real shit. Even if I'm out and I'm driving around, I'm gonna find somewhere that has real food and not like processed food, shit like that. But at the end of the day, man, it's just a decision to make the change and dedicate yourself. And that does not require anything special. That is literally just you making the choice that I need to change because of X, Y, and Z. Everybody has their reasons and things like that. Like, it is up to you, and it will always be up to you to make that change. And everybody is capable. I'm not more capable of doing this more than you. Like, you're not more capable of doing it more than me. We're all gonna have our weak points. We're all gonna have our vulnerable, situations where we had a bad fucking day or whatever. But if you turn to that shit every time that you have a bad day or you have a bad situation and you just want to eat your face off, and this, don't tell yourself that you really give a fuck about yourself. I mean, that might be harsh, but it's like, I don't know how else to explain it, because I don't understand it any other way. I care about my health and I care about my body and the way that I feel and being able to perform more than I care about enjoying this sugary high of a snack. So that's kind of my take on it. It's really just it's a grown-up decision, in my opinion. And really, it all comes down to one question that you need to ask yourself. How bad do you fucking want it? Truly, like, how bad do you want it? Doesn't matter what you're training for. That does not matter. Whatever that thing is for you, whether it's an event, a certain look, whatever, how fucking bad do you want it? That's the question. If you're gonna sit there and tell yourself and tell other people's around you that you want it really fucking bad and there's nothing that can stop you and you will do anything, then that's up to you to prove, and your actions must follow with that.
All right, one of the biggest things that you need to think about when it comes to nutrition is that if you are only eating, let's just make these numbers really easy, 2,000 calories, and you've been eating that on a daily basis, maybe if that, for number of years, right? Let's just say for the past 5 years, you've only eaten like 2,000 calories a day, and then you're like, I want to put on muscle, or I want to, in this example, we're just going to say, I want to put on muscle. You will make a very, very big mistake by just jumping up, say, all right, I know that I ate 2,000 calories, or you track your meals for the next 7 days to get that baseline of where you're at, and it comes out to be 2,000 calories. I want to build on muscle, so I need to get into a caloric surplus, right? So you're gonna jump right into 3,000 calories a day. What that is going to do is going to completely confuse your body to where you're going to be uncomfortable in digestion. Your stomach is going to feel like shit. Overall, your body is going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you eating so much? And so, my recommendation and kind of the way that I go about whether I'm trying to gain muscle or things like that, even when in the endurance space. And I'll give you another example next. You need to slowly creep up. Okay. So say your baseline is 2,000 calories. You want to get it to up to 3,000 calories. Okay. So week by week, see how you feel by just adding in those 100 extra calories a day. So 2,100. Body feels good after a week or 2 weeks doing that. Bump it up to 2,200. Slowly creep up. All right, a week goes by, bump it up to 2,400. See how you feel with that. And then let your body adapt to the slow introduction of more food into your system, right? if you do that, you will avoid, it being uncomfortable by eating more food, and you will let your body adapt to slowly increasing it 100, 200 calories, max like 300 calories, until you get to that 3,000 calorie point. Your body has adapted. You've given it enough time to realize that we are going to start eating more. And then once you get to that 3,000 calories, and that is your caloric surplus, then maintain that for the next duration of how long you want to build muscle. And then the same thing when you're coming down and trying to, lean out or find like a comfortable lifestyle for you. Well, maybe it'll be at like 2,500 calories a day. So slowly break it down, take 100 calories out week 1, take 100 calories out week 3, week 4, take 100 calories out week 7, week 8, until, 8 to 10 weeks, you have got your body to understand what you're doing, but not drastic change to where you're, now cutting all that out. Your body's like, what the fuck? You're hungry, you got headaches, you got all this kind of stuff. You're slowly bringing it down to that 2,500 calorie range a day, and your body is comfortable. So with the endurance training, and especially like when I pick out a race, whether it's an ultra, specifically for this Ironman, I am burning so many calories from all the training that I'm doing with running, swimming, biking, lifting weights, all that kind of stuff. And so my baseline is right, like what I feel comfortable with eating and what my body is used to is around 2,800 to 3,000 calories. Well, I know that I'm going to be burning a lot more calories with doing this training, and so I slowly would creep up with my carb intake. That's what I really, really rely on. I make sure that I always get the 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So I'm 220 pounds. I need to eat or ingest, drink, eat, whatever, 220 grams of protein on a daily basis. And then for my carb source, when I'm not training for an event and I'm just going to the gym, working out, working on strength stuff, I sit around 250 to 300 grams of carbs on a daily basis. Well, like I said, I'm training for a lot longer. I'm burning a lot more calories. I need to slowly increase my carb intake to around 500-600 grams of carbs on a daily basis. Slowly introducing 50 here this day or 100 throughout the week, to have 400 grams of carbs Monday through Sunday, and then see how I feel with that. My body's using it well. Okay, let's bump it up a little bit, up until I get to that goal of 500-600 grams of carbs on a daily basis. So with endurance training, it is very, at least for me, I rely on those carbs and keeping my glycogen levels full, all that kind of stuff. Every morning, like I know whether or not I hit that goal, I fell short, or got it, just based off of how I feel during training. And I'm always having a carbohydrate source during my training at all times. So I'll take the Stay Ready Endurance. If I'm going for an hour Zone 2 run, I'll drink 1 scoop 20 to 30 minutes before, and then I'll take 1 scoop in a bottle, in a handheld bottle, and drink that while I'm running. But the thing about it is, and this is where one-on-one coaching with me is very, very beneficial, because everybody's event, everybody's body, everybody is a different individual. What works for somebody that you guys follow on social media may not work for you. Yeah, it could be a great starting point, but at the end of the day, like, you're not the same person as that person, and they are showing you what works for them. And so we got to find out what works for you and how to do that in the proper way. So nutrition is one, I think it is the biggest factor on whether or not somebody is able to achieve their goal. And yeah, the training is a very big part of it, but nutrition is the key to being able to do the things that you want to do in big events, and also look the way and feel the way that you want to. So I'll see you guys next time.